Hey guys, Brent back here, and I want to talk about this dude named Mad Jack Churchill, or what normal people will call him is Jack Malcolm Thorpe Fleming Churchill, which is way too fucking long for me, so I'm going to stick with Mad Jack. So this dude was in the British Army and graduated from the military academy in 1926, then was sent off to Burma, and then there was nothing better to do, so he just drove a motorcycle around and played the bagpipes. But he got tired of that, so he retired in 1936, became, just a male model. Man, fuck. And then in 1939, he represented England in the World Championship Archery Tournament. But, he's like, this is so boring. I'm going to rejoin the military back in 1940. So he was shipped off to France to help the British Expeditionary Force in their missions to reinforce France, pretty much. But this is when Hitler decided, we need to get these people out of here. So the British were getting pushed back by the Blitzkrieg, and Mad Jack was like, I'm not going to have none of that. So he stood his ground and sent out small-scale guerrilla forces to fight the Germans. This dude would raid the Germans on a motorcycle with his bow and a fucking Scottish broadsword. Now that's just intense. That's freaking awesome. A fellow officer asked Churchill why he would carry a sword, and he quotes, "In my opinion, sir, any officer who goes into action without a sword is improperly dressed." That's freaking awesome, man. He goes medieval on their shit. During the Dunkirk campaign, Mad Jack was shot in the neck, but he was still able to save a British officer from a German ambush and was awarded the Military Cross. Nothing could stop this dude. What is up with him? After the Dunkirk campaign, he was sent back to England and then was asked to join the Commandos, and he didn't really know what this was, but he's like, I'm able to kick more German asses, let's do this shit. So after his training was complete, he took part in a daring amphibious assault of German base in Vagsø, Norway. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to say Vagsø. Sorry if anybody thinks I'm an idiot. As the leader of number 2 Commando, Churchill was responsible for taking out the artillery batteries on Malo Island. As the landing craft raced towards the drop zone, Churchill played the March of the Cameron Men on the bagpipes to pump up his men and get them ready for battle. As the assault ramp swung open, he went into the knee-deep water just carrying his broadsword, screaming, "Commando!" So, 2 hours later, British command received a telegram from the front. Malloy Battery and Island captured. Casualties slight. Demolition in progress. Churchill. That means Churchill was a freaking badass. During the British landing of Salerno, his squad was charged with taking an artillery battery that was pinning down a nearby British force. Despite this battery was garrisoned by a force much larger than his number 2 commandos, Churchill was like, fuck that, we're gonna do it. So in the middle of the night, he and his men charged the town from all sides, screaming, "Commando!" as loud as possible. The Germans were confused and surprised, and they tried to counterattack, but it was terrible. The 50 men of the commandos took 136 prisoners and inflicted an unknown number of casualties. But his badass does not stop there. In the middle of one night, he single-handedly took 42 German prisoners and captured a mortar crew using only his broadsword. He simply took one patrolling guard as a human shield and went around from sentry post to sentry post, sneaking up to the guards and then swinging his broadsword in their faces until they surrendered. His response when asked about how he was able to capture so many soldiers so easily was, "I maintain that as long as you tell a German loudly and clearly what to do, if you are senior to him, he will cry, 'Yes, sir,' and get on with it enthusiastically and efficiently, whatever the situation." What a freaking badass, man. This guy's a stud. Now, Churchill is now leading his commandos in Yugoslavia to capture Point 622 on the island of Brock in the Adriatic Sea. When his commando team was wiped out, he was all out of revolver ammo, he just sat there and was like, well, I'm not going to escape. So he took out his bagpipe and started playing some sad songs until they knocked him unconscious and took him to a concentration camp. Now, we all know that a concentration camp won't be able to hold Jack Churchill. So one night in September of 1944, he escaped the camp by crawling under barbed wire and through an abandoned drain. But he was obviously recaptured, walking towards the Baltic coast, and then shipped off to prison camp in Austria. Now, this too would not hold him in. So one night in April of 1945, the lighting in the camp failed, and he just dropped his shovel and walked away. He marched 150 miles through the treacherous terrain of the Alps, liberating vegetables he found along the way, until he finally met up with a U.S. armored column and was sent back to England. So when he got back to England, the war with the Germans was pretty much over, and he showed interest in fighting the Japanese, so they sent him off to Burma. And as soon as he arrived to Burma, the word of the atomic bombs have dropped, so it was a no-go there too. He didn't stop his military career after the wars ended, and then when he was 40 years old, he qualified as a paratrooper and completed jump school. He went on to serve in Palestine, where he earned fame by defending a Jewish medical convoy from an Arab force. He radioed in backup and provided small arms fire while wearing his full military dress uniform. At the time, he and 12 other men evacuated a hospital full of Israeli medical personnel and even came under attack by Arab rockets. After he left Palestine, Churchill then served as an instructor in land-air warfare school in Australia and became a hardcore surfer. He even designed and built his own surfboards. He retired from the Army in 1959 and received 2 medals for bravery during his time. Well, that's it for Mad Jack. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, this guy is freaking crazy. Fighting with a longbow and a broadsword. That's medieval shit right there. And they should freaking make a movie about him if they haven't already, which I don't think they have. But, man, if you guys like this, yeah, like, subscribe, all that jazz. This video's probably got a few more minutes left, so I hope you enjoy this and enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you.
Losing B. Lost B. Securing B. Securing A. Enemy has Bravo. A secure. Enemy UAV above. Securing Bravo. Losing A. UAV in waiting. Enemy taking A. Losing Charlie. We lost A. Go, go, go! Enemy has B. Lost C. B secure. A secure. Enemy has C. Our UAV is online. Enemy taking Bravo. Lost B. Enemy has B. Warbird decloak sequence activated. Warbird assistance requested. Incoming enemy care package. Warbird assistance requested. Enemy missile strikes. We're winning. winning this fight. Enemy taking Alpha. Lost A. Incoming enemy care package. Securing Alpha. A secure. Enemy assault drone incoming. Losing Alpha. Securing Alpha. A secure. Friendly Goliath online. Our UAV is online. Well fought, gents. I knew we hired you for a reason.